In this segment of Suffolk Headlines, we visit Morgan Memorial Library for a life-size teen game. Then we head to the First Lady for a free small business seminar entitled Competing with the Big Boys: How Independent Retailers Win and Keep the Customer. The Suffolk Public Library hosted the Opportunity Inc. Career Access Network on Thursday, November 3rd, who presented What's Your Score? Life-size games for teens. Middle and high school students navigated the highs and lows of their credit score, from landing that dream job to buying a home of their own. Credit impacted their life every step of the way. This live-action game taught the students the ins and outs of credit, along with tips to secure a high credit score of their own. On Tuesday, November 8th, Suffolk Economic Development, along with the Small Business Development Center, presented a free small business seminar entitled Competing with the Big Boys: How Independent Retailers Win and Keep Customers. The seminar, which was facilitated by Mark Wilson, was designed to give small, independently owned retailers valuable guidance about competing with larger big box businesses. This seminar helped businesses learn about the importance of differentiating their product mix and the significance of posting quality photographs on web pages and social media.
Well, today's seminar is about how to compete with the big boys. So what can small businesses do to get their fair share of the customers this year when facing big box marketing and advertising and the coffers that they have that we know we don't? And the answer is fairly simple. You don't compete with the big box, you differentiate. Differentiation is the key, and we'll go through several ways to do that today. I travel pretty much at least half the year. So I do these seminars now in 26 states. The original program was developed for Virginia and Maryland, but I now do it in 26 other states, and with a dozen seminars, and then I spend the rest of the day, typically, in this case I did it this morning, visiting businesses at their place of business, so that I'm another set of eyes and ears that have done it for 40 years, so I've made all the mistakes for you, and I'm just going to help you avoid some of those today. Well, you might find this interesting. I'm a botanist from the University of Delaware. And when I graduated, I went to work for Longwood Gardens. Some of you may or may not know it. It's in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, and it's one of the finest horticultural sites in the world. And I went to work there the summer of my senior year, and I got a phone call from my brother who was getting his MBA at George Washington in DC. And he said, I have met a guy with a shoe store that is making more money than he knows what to do with. How would you like to move to DC and help us grow the business? So I figured I'd been in Delaware most of my adult life, or at that point, I was only 22. But I moved to DC, and it turned out that he met a guy that opened an Earth shoe store. Now, for those that are my age or a little younger, you'll remember Earth shoes. They were a phenomenon in the mid-70s. It was a shoe invented by a Danish woman that recreated how your foot works when you're barefooted. So the heel was lower than the front, because when you're barefooted, you support your weight with the heels. And the toe box was wide. They were ugly as sin, but they became a phenomenon. And we became the largest distributor of Earth shoes in North America. And I was 25 years old. I was loaded. Now, the parent company in Denmark mismanaged the money and went belly up 2 years later. Well, in the meantime, I had signed 10-year leases in 6 AA malls. I had 8 years left on 5 leases with no business. And we lost everything. So I got that one out of the way early on, and have worked for many restaurants and retail companies since. And as I said before, I've made the mistakes for you. So I'm going to help you avoid some of them today.
Thanks for watching this segment of Suffolk Headlines.